Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Broman Clash, and tonight I want to talk about a topic that either everyone is either dealing with right now, or a topic that everyone wants to have an opinion on, or too afraid to talk about it because they don't want to get into politics, or just because everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it, but for me, it's the second option, and that topic is Donald J. Trump. And you may ask, Clash, why are you talking about Donald J. Trump for? What did he do to you? I'm just like, nah, it's not what he did to me, personally, but how the way he's going about it and how the way he's actually affecting a lot of people who do have immigration status or who are dual citizens. But at the same time, he's not looking at the fact that he's basically with a woman who is an immigrant. Isn't that something? And he wants to post a ban either on, both on Muslims, and he wants to do do something on deportation. Now, when you do that, you basically try to erase, the hard work and the blood, the sweat, and very much the tears of those who live in America. Let me tell you something. America is built up on a fiber that is more than white, is more than black, Hispanic, Asian, even indigenous people, Native Americans, as some of y'all will call them, and how the way they had to fight against, basically like the construction of a pipeline through their sacred grounds. That's America right there. Yeah, at the same time, Donald J. Trump, what he represents is not America in terms of diversity, but America during like a certain period of time. Infamously the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. Here the 20s, 30s. Basically he represents what America truly is or wants to be again. Especially during his phrase when he said, "Let's make America great again." And some people say that could be linked to the KKK. And it's just like, wow, man. That's real heavy. They just want to make America great again. Nah, y'all don't want to make America great again. Y'all just want to make America white again. Now, what's going on? Now, Donald J. Trump. Who is he and why is he very important? Well, one, he's not very important in the issue of like, oh, what has he done for the people, as like people in general, not for a select group, just for all. And then two, he's not really that important. What, just because he's president doesn't necessarily mean he's important. Well, he's important in the sense like, oh crap, if something goes down and they're preparing for World War III, basically those who are in the army, in the military in general, they're the ones that have to go. And it's just like, damn, man, are you serious? Because he can't handle a simple comment. He cannot handle a simple insult and just finesse his way and just be like, okay, you said something like that. Okay, that's cool. Alright, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that slide. That was a real cute comment. So what? Barack Obama, he had class. He was at the top of his class, in Harvard, and he spoke eloquently, and he talked in a way that both black and white could understand. And he had to do certain things just to make himself look like a president. He was the shining example of a president. Not a good one, but a shining example of how a president should act. And as a father, as a husband, and definitely as a man, he is excellent. He is great. Because you know why? He didn't cheat on his wife. He raised two beautiful daughters, made sure they grew up to be responsible and intelligent. Fuck pretty. Who cares about how pretty somebody looks? If they can hold themselves accountable, and if they're great people, then guess what? They are ultimately respectable. Donald J. Trump, on the other hand, how the way he talks like a man, how the way they say men have locker room language. Sure, people have coarse tongues. People have a way of speaking. People have a way of just being, just being rough. Sure, but as a president, and you're still keeping up that tongue and that rhetoric, come on now. That's not right. And then the fact that, one time he was on TV, he made fun of a disabled person. And he was running for president. How come that did not stop him and stop the people from being like, wait a minute, you just made fun of somebody disabled? No. You gotta go. You have to go, because you can't do that. You don't represent us. And not only that, that also presents a bit of a problem, because there are also disabled veterans who need help. And what he represents is not anti-establishment, but he seems to be more pro-establishment, especially with the people that he's putting in office. Betsy DeVos, and how the way she's not down for public education, even though she never really understood public education, or even was a teacher of in a public educated school, or a public oriented school. She was down for like private schools and all that, but not really down for understanding what's going on in the inner cities. Rudy Giuliani, and how the way he's in cahoots with Donald J. Trump, and how the way he's down for Donald J. Trump, that also raised some flags too, because of what Rudy Giuliani represents and who he is, especially with stop and frisk, and how the way, let's just say, racial tensions follow him. And then you're gonna have somebody who's supposed to be like the head of environmental studies, or being like an environmentalist, or just making sure like something's going on, EPA, Environment Protection Agency, or something like that. Just making sure that the environment is not only stable, but actually keeping tabs on like what is going on with the environment. And he doesn't even know that global warming does have a significance on life. And not only that, this global warming that's happening, it's more artificial than natural. So there you go. And then it's just like you see more people that have more dollar signs aligned with them than morals with Donald Trump. And it's just like, wow, how can you say that? How can you say that he's supposed to be our president? And not only that, how the way he talks about women. Like, seriously, he talks about women as if they're nothing more than just trophies, garbage, overall just objects. And it's just like, come on now. Talking about grabbing by the pussy. I know that's very coarse even for me, but that's exactly what you said. Grab him by the and it's just like, come on now, man. And that did not stop. That didn't even stop him. In fact, that pushed him along even more, to the point that there were even women, somewhere around in the 50 range, voted for him. And it's just like, come on now. There were women that were against Donald Trump because of what he said. And then there were women who voted for him because he represents anti-establishment. Come on. And then how the way he talked about race. And not only that, there were also some black folks, aka coons, aka, some house Negroes, as some people would call them, I included. And it would just be like, they're down with him because he represents, quote unquote, us. No, he doesn't. Sure, he may sound like some people that you may know out on the street, but really he doesn't. He doesn't represent us. And just because somebody doesn't look like you doesn't necessarily mean they cannot relate to you. But here's the thing. What I mean by looking like somebody, that means they're relatable. He's not relatable, even in the slightest. And really, what he represents is the establishment, and representing money more than the people, more than progress. Basically, you could say he's a Congress. Nah, that was a corny joke. But really, Donald Trump, Trump the chump, dump, Donald Dump, whatever you call him, man. But let's just keep it real. Donald Trump, he's just like, wow, really? And then the Muslim ban, and then you have, deportation and what's going on, and how the way it, well, racism always existed in America. It always did. It never ceased from America's blood. Let's get that one thing straight. It's still here, and it's still gonna be here. That's the thing. And the fact that, Donald Trump is raising that up by actually causing more disruption, by actually revealing that there is still racism going on here in America, that shows like, hey, well, you could say that all the people that talked about racism is not there in America. Donald Trump revealed that there is, so you could say that's a bit of like a hidden plus. But still, back on the topic at hand. Donald Trump, he's a failing businessman. Matter of fact, he's a terrible businessman. Why would anybody want him to lead our country if he can't even lead a business into success? And not only that, like I mentioned about how the way he talks about women, how the way he talks about, there were, not only the deportation, the Muslim ban. It's just sad because there were people who actually did suffer. There were doctors who were Islamic minded, who did practice Islam, who could have saved many lives, but by that ban, couldn't. All because of a man's quote-unquote preconceived way of justice. And you know what they say about justice? There is no justice, just us. Isn't that something? And then, to make matters even funnier or even worse, matter of fact, both, it's just like, wow, man. He wants to talk about how the way he inherited a mess. No, Barack Obama inherited a mess. You inherit basically just something lighter. He inherited something heavy. And you want to know what the crazy part is? After all that complaining, after all what he's done, what did he really do that was of significance? Nothing. In fact, he reversed some of the great things that came from Barack Obama. He wants to get what? He wants to get rid of Obamacare or something like that because it just has Obama in it. Give me a break. And he wants to continue the Dakota Access Pipeline, where people fought and some people lost their lives. Some people lost their limbs. Some people were scarred both mentally and physically. And it's just like, come on now. And then people going to get blasted with fire hoses, well, water cannons, akin to like fire hoses during the 1960s, by what happened to us black folks. And then, what, man? He's basically trying to make America not great again, but white again. How can you make America great again? And the very same people that support him also spew out the very same rhetoric as well. Tommy Leary and some other people too. Bill O'Reilly. Oh man, he's terrible. And what's going on, man? Like, seriously. And the fact that there are also celebrities that are talking about, like, man, he is not a president. He is not a man. He is a coward. Danny DeVito, Robert De Niro said it well. Man, he's not a man. He's not even a president. He's a coward. Man, if I met him up in an alley, man, we would have rumbled and I would have came out victorious. He didn't say the last lines, but he said, a little bit of like on his thoughts on Donald Trump and his few cents. And then if you have celebrities and you have even some of the governors, some of the some of the judges going against your decisions as a president and you're getting angry, guess what? People seem to forget about checks and balances too. Like, checks and balances almost doesn't even exist here in America, but it existed the hell for Obama. But for America, it's just like, but for Trump, it's just like, man, please. And the way it looks right now, it looks more like a dictatorship than it does an actual democracy. Matter of fact, if it was a democracy, it would be by the hands of the people. But it's more of an oligarchy by nature, especially if it's by the hands of the few. Not by the hands of the many, but by the hands of the few. And what makes things even more interesting is the fact that, you know, everyone's feeling it. People that I'm close to, people that I love, people that I care about, even people that I don't even know, even some people that I watch on YouTube, they're affected by it. Some of them made jokes about it. Some of them talk seriously about it. Some of them rant about it. Some of them are just like, man, please, fuck Trump. My sentiments exactly. That's exactly what I said. What are some of the good things? Well, only two. He earned a medal which was earned by Muhammad Ali and Rosa Parks. And two, he exposed that there is still racism here in America. And it's just like, okay, those are the only two good things, okay? But the negative outweigh the positives. And, you know, I remember 5 years ago, a good friend of my step-pops, before my step-pops passed away, gave me several books. And one of the books in the pile of the books was this: Surviving at the Top by Donald J. Trump. How the hell can you survive at the top if you're so busy looking like you're from the fucking bottom? The way he talks, the way he acts, he's not from the top, man. Because if he's from the top, he will understand the problem. But the fact that he's nothing more than just some sort of, and he's nothing more than just the rich. That's just it. And you know what else too? Fuck this book. And this thing can burn. And seriously, can't stand. Like, what's going on here? Well, you're gonna get a bit of taste of symbolism with me. Yeah, well, let's keep it real. America's burning. And people are feeling the burn. And I'm not talking about Bernie Sanders, mind you. I'm talking about what Donald Trump is spreading. Especially when it's pretty negative. Especially when people are suffering from him. And how the way people are just like, man, enough is enough. We don't like this man. And people are just like, huh. People just want to express their disdain, their disinterest in this man. Because he doesn't represent America. We represent America. And you know what else too? The way things are going right now, he can't even survive at the top, man. He's nothing more than just a joke. Because if he's busy trying to survive at the top, how can he survive at the top if he's so busy looking at the bottom and what the bottom is saying instead of trying to help the bottom? That makes him a boss, not a leader. And you know what and if you're a gamer, you know what happens to bosses, right? That's right. I'm not saying somebody should kill him. Definitely impeach him, but not kill him. Let's just keep it real. And don't worry, the book is burning. And the way the book is burning right now, it symbolizes America. America's burning. But at the same time, the ashes will reveal who will stand tall. And with that, YouTube, this is Broman Clash signing out one at one. Hope you have a good night tonight. Love y'all. And if you disagree, that's cool. If you agree, that's cool as well. All right? Later.